to be able to introduce for the first time in Brandon as Premier, Greg Selinger. Greg's a very good friend of mine and a very good friend of Brandon in our community, and is well known in this community. It's also an appropriate place to be having the first event for the Premier in Brandon, because we have, as you know, had a number of events in this very spot over the last number of years for a variety of provincial initiatives that support the city of Brandon. And you know, we could go through the last one we were here for was the wastewater treatment plant, but there are very many announcements that we've made with former Premier Dewar in the City Hall changes, so it's an appropriate place for an announcement of this nature. Greg, it's a real pleasure to see you, Brandon, and I do want to turn the podium over to Premier Greg Selinger. Thank you. You're morphing.
Thank you, Drew. That shows the continuity in the government we have, and I like that. I like that. First of all, it's an honor to be back here in Brandon. I welcome the opportunity to get out here in the first week after we've had what is one of the most important parts of democracy, which is a peaceful transition of power. And so anytime you go through a convention and you have a peaceful transition, it's good for democracy. And you folks saw the delegates there and everybody's involvement, and there were many people from Brandon involved as well. So it was an important process of renewal, not only for the NDP, but for the government generally. I'm happy to be here today to do this announcement on the East End Landfill, the methane capture project. It's an important project from a climate change perspective, and as you know, Manitoba wants to be a leader in that. This project is financing of about $1.275 million from the province of Manitoba. We believe it will reduce about 50,000 tons of greenhouse gases, and in particular methane. And those of you that know, methane is one of the more noxious forms of emissions in terms of greenhouse change, and has about 29 times more negative impact than a normal ton of carbon dioxide. So it's a good thing to reduce and eliminate. It's equivalent to about taking 10,000 cars off the road a year. So that just gives you an example of the value of this kind of project. I'm pleased to do it in cooperation with Mayor Burgess and City Council, because after all, it's their landfill, but we know that partnerships with municipal governments are one of the more effective ways to move forward on climate change. And this will have long-term benefits for Brandon. It'll have long-term benefits for Manitoba. And by the way, when we have a good benefit for the environment, there's a global payoff on that as well. And we want Manitoba want to do our part. So I'm pleased to be here to make that announcement. And thank you very much, Drew, for the opportunity to do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Somebody that's been instrumental in this and has brought to my attention on the coming out here today is Tom Keefe, who's unable to be with us here today. Oh, there is, Tom. I wanted to personally thank you for this and your initiative in making sure that Brandon is as green as it can be. You have made an impact amongst the political civil service in Winnipeg. With those words, Your Worship, Burgess.
You can call me whatever you want. If you're giving us money, you can call me whatever you want. Of course, Premier Selinger, I really appreciate you coming out today as your first official visit as Premier, and congratulations from not only myself, but all the citizens of Brandon. I know you'll be great to work with, and I understand this is only the first of dozens of financial announcements that the Premier will be making in Brandon, so we're pleased to have you here today. I know City Council members are here as well. We appreciate you with quick notice coming, and of course, this was a great advertisement for the need for the instrument landing system at the airport, because we had to keep moving it because of cloud cover, and we appreciate what you had to go through to get here. So that's great to have you here, and to have it where it's to do with the environment. Having your first financial announcement is very fitting. We're thrilled and proud of what successes we've had in Brandon, and as you stated, the methane gas is actually the most harmful of all, and for us to reduce that does a great wonder for not only our area, but overall in the world measure of things as far as the environment. So it's great to have this announcement today. We look forward to successes, and also being able to take that and hopefully turn it into a financially viable turnaround for heating or what other source we end up using that in a very valuable manner. We always look to see if we can make a profit on this, but even if it's a break even, we're pleased to be able to set whatever stage we can on the environment. So again, thank you very much. Appreciate having you out, and look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just before we wrap up, I will acknowledge City Councilors Jim McCrae, Doug Patterson, Don Jessamine. Thank you very, very much for coming out here. And with those words, the two gentlemen are yours.